Alright, today is going to be all about vacuum, and gas engines need it to be able to run and power such things as your brake boosters, stuff like that. And on a diesel, where it doesn't actually have the vacuum set up like a gas engine, you have to have a vacuum pump. Now that's a whole different story for a different video. Today is gasoline vacuum stuff. So on these OBS trucks, you have what we always affectionately refer to as the soup can. And being metal and roughly 30 years old, you can see that it is just starting to get crusty. I can flex this with my thumb, and I'm sure the up under this is a problem. And I've had a high idle for a while, and I couldn't exactly get it to go down. It's got a new IEC valve, stuff like that, and it shouldn't be running that high of an idle unless there's a vacuum leak. And I've checked all my hoses; they're replaced. And it came down to this was the only thing I hadn't replaced, and when I pulled it off, it was corroded. I mean, it was nasty. So it normally sits on the fender well on the passenger side like this, and there's two nuts that you have to access from under the fender lip to remove it. So you take the two nuts off, slide it up, and then you have your vacuum lines. Now, I'm replacing that metal soup can with this, what we always called the crazy balls for vacuum. It's a Chevrolet part. I'll give you the part number in just a second here. But it won't rust. That's the whole purpose of this. It is not going to rust out. It's still going to provide the same things I need, and such as vacuum and a constant supply. All right, now the tools required for this is going to be very simple. A screwdriver, a wrench or socket to get the nuts off of the original vacuum reservoir, and a sharp knife. And the reason for the sharp knife is so you can easily cut through the rubber hoses, stuff like that. The factory hoses are color-coated plastic. They're very brittle. And I highly recommend at this point you go ahead and replace all of them with rubber vacuum lines. Alright, now once you get all your vacuum lines and stuff sorted out, you'll need to keep this little fellow in the loop. This provides vacuum to your TAD and tab solenoids, and then it comes over to your main reservoir. Now what I'm doing instead of screws is double-sided tape. It was a buck, had some out already, so what I'm going to do is clean this right here and then just place this down, and that way it'll stay in one position, won't bounce around. The reservoir itself that I'm using is made by Dorman, so it's made in China, and this is the part number for it: 6047077-442. Alright, now that I've cleaned this portion, these are the two original bolt holes for the other reservoir. So what I'm going to do is just turn this over and place it right where the original once sat. And that's it. It doesn't, I mean, it wiggles a little bit, but I mean, it's held down by double-sided tape, so it's not going anywhere. It's not like there's going to be a ton of pressure. It's just basically a placeholder thing. Now, the next few videos will be, of course, fixing my wiring, cleaning it up and stuff, but this was a hard issue. I still have some issues to work through, but as usual, you'll get your videos, and we'll go from there.